What if everything we thought we knew about the leaders of cloud computing is about to be turned upside down? For over a decade, three dominant players, Amazon's AWS, Microsoft's Azure, and Google Cloud, have defined the cloud service landscape. But in the age of AI, their positions are shifting fast. One of these giants is clearly pulling ahead. Another is dangerously lagging behind, and a third seems poised to erupt onto center stage. Why? Because the rules of the game have changed. Cloud computing isn't just infrastructure anymore. It's becoming the critical engine powering the AI revolution, meaning that whoever controls cloud controls tech's next frontier. Today on Epoch Report, we're breaking down how the AI boom is already reshaping big tech's power map and which companies investors need to watch most closely. So here's the key question. Will the old leaders keep their crown, or are we entering a whole new era of cloud dominance? Let's find out. When people talk about investing in there's one name that always gets mentioned first. Nvidia, and rightfully so. They make the chips the fuel AI runs on. But here's the thing most retail investors miss. AI models don't just need chips. They need infrastructure, vast amounts of processing power, data storage, and network bandwidth to train and operate at scale. That infrastructure? It lives in the cloud. Cloud providers are in effect the refinery where raw GPU power is turned into AI gold. If Nvidia is the gold mine, cloud computing is the smelter. Cloud is what bridges the gap between AI research and real-world deployment. It's what lets OpenAI deploy ChatGPT to millions. It's what makes AI apps usable by enterprises and consumers alike. And it's why cloud computing is without a doubt one of the most high-certainty investment opportunities in the AI age. Over the past 10 years, cloud computing has easily been one of the most successful segments in the global tech industry. Instead of building and maintaining their own data centers, companies now rent computing power and storage on demand. That shift has slashed costs, improved scalability, and accelerated digital transformation. According to Statista, the global cloud computing market grew from $50 billion in 2017 to $330 billion by 2024, an annual growth rate of more than 30%. This explosion made cloud the beating heart of tech infrastructure, propelling AWS, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud to the top of the industry. But here's the thing. That growth, impressive as it was largely driven by general digitalization. We're seeing a second phase of growth, and this time, it's AI doing the driving. Every major language model, from OpenAI's GPT-4 to Google's Gemini, requires immense computing power to train and even more to run in real time. And that power isn't sourced manually. These AI labs don't build their own server farms. Instead, they partner with cloud providers to scale on demand. Think about it. OpenAI trains its models using Microsoft's Azure. When you ask ChatGPT a question, that request gets routed through cloud infrastructure. Even when AI inference eventually moves to the edge or devices, cloud will still be essential for central coordination, retraining, and data integration. This makes cloud computing an indispensable component in nearly every AI business model. And we're already seeing the results. Cloud spending is accelerating again. Projections now forecast the market to hit $410 billion by 2025, growing more than 24% annually. But the most interesting clue isn't in revenue, it's in capital expenditures. Capital expenditure is the ultimate insider indicator. If tech CEOs are ramping up investments, it's because they know bigger growth is coming. And right now, the data center arms race is heating up. Microsoft has been especially aggressive, pouring billions into new infrastructure. Starting as early as late 2022, importantly, this early start has allowed them to begin releasing new capacity ahead of competitors. One way to observe this is through depreciation. When hardware starts being actively used, depreciation shows up as an expense. Microsoft's depreciation figures have surged in recent quarters, hinting that a large chunk of latent compute power has recently come online. AWS, meanwhile, started slower. In fact, their capital investment in cloud even dipped at one point, raising questions about priorities. Amazon still has to support its sprawling e-commerce infrastructure alongside AWS. So not every dollar goes into AI readiness. And while all giants faced capacity issues amidst a sudden compute demand shock, Microsoft's early and aggressive moves gave it a critical first-mover advantage in the AI era. Let's now shift into current dynamics. For over a decade, AWS dominated the cloud industry, holding a consistent 30% share, followed by Azure at 21% and Google Cloud at 12%. While there were small fluctuations, the overall landscape remained a near-perfect tripod. But in 2024, that balance is unraveling. Azure's growth has accelerated rapidly, now growing revenue at 39%. Google Cloud isn't far behind, showing 30% gains. AWS. It's still growing, but at a slower and steady 18%, with signs of plateauing. And when we examine unfulfilled cloud orders contracts signed, but not yet fulfilled, we learn even more. Azure's backlog just shot up by $53 billion in a single quarter, while AWS added only $6 billion. This isn't just a blip, it's a reshuffling of momentum. So why is Azure suddenly pulling ahead? The answer lies in one word: OpenAI. Microsoft, locked in an exclusive partnership with OpenAI through 2030. Azure is the only cloud provider offering direct API access to OpenAI's models, including ChatGPT. What does that mean? It creates a closed loop. Any business that wants to integrate GPT capabilities into their services must go through Azure. That baseline traffic doesn't just generate AI revenue, it pulls those companies deeper into Microsoft's broader cloud ecosystem. This is the flywheel effect in action. The more people use OpenAI, the more companies migrate to Azure. The more traffic Azure gets, the more it invests in OpenAI. And so the wheel keeps spinning faster. Last quarter, Microsoft reported $4 billion in AI-related cloud revenue, double from the previous period. Even traditional corporations like SAP users are joining Azure just for the AI capabilities. Make no mistake, AWS still dominates in traditional cloud. Its tools are more robust, its integration deeper, and among developers, its reputation for reliability remains strong. Even at Epoch Report, members of our team use AWS and report it's still better engineered than competitors. But AWS is facing a multi-front challenge in AI. Its main AI partner, Anthropic, is not exclusive. Anthropic's APIs are also available on Google Cloud. Even Anthropic's model Claude has narrower appeal than GPT, strong in code completion, but weaker in general language use. This dilutes AWS's leverage. Can't enforce exclusivity. Clients can and do go elsewhere. And with AWS admits, AI generates less than 5% of its cloud revenue. It's clear they're trailing in monetizing the greatest growth engine of the next decade. Let's not overlook Google. Their large language model, Gemini, has rapidly improved. In many benchmarks, it now rivals or even outperforms GPT-4, and their cloud platform is quietly rooted, becoming the launchpad of the next wave of AI startups. According to Google's disclosure, 90% of AI unicorn startups and over 60% of venture-backed AI firms are now using Google Cloud. The reason? Google's AI roots run deep, stretching back to TensorFlow, the TPU chip line, and decades of ML research. This credibility, plus a tailored startup ecosystem, is bringing the next generation of AI-native firms into the Google fold. In recent months, we've also seen Google expand its partnerships dramatically. A new deal with Meta worth over $10 billion. Even a surprise capacity-sharing agreement with OpenAI itself. That detail is telling. OpenAI chose to partner with Google before considering AWS. What does that say about AWS's viability as a serious AI cloud provider? If you're still watching, you're clearly not here for shallow takes. Make sure you're subscribed and turn on that notification bell. At Epoch Report, we cut through the hype and bring you original insights you won't hear on mainstream outlets. Just 10 minutes a day can give you a massive edge. While everyone watches the usual big three, a fourth contender has quietly entered the air and is now making serious moves. That's Oracle. In September 2025, Oracle stunned the market by announcing a blockbuster cloud revenue guidance bump, 77% year-over-year growth, targeting $18 billion. But that was just the prelude. The real shock? Rumored $300 billion 5-year compute deal with OpenAI. Under the codename Project Stargate, this signals a potential strategy shift from OpenAI, no longer relying solely on Microsoft, but diversifying across multiple cloud providers. And Oracle isn't stopping there. They're embedding LLMs like ChatGPT and Gemini directly into enterprise databases, pushing beyond infrastructure into vertical software integration. Add that to a 359% spike in RPO remaining performance obligations. And Oracle may not just be a competitor, they could become a serious disruptor. Here's our bottom line. Cloud infrastructure is the foundation of AI, and unlike many speculative plays, this sector offers both high certainty and high growth. But within cloud, the rules are changing. The new kingmakers aren't just those with the best tech. They're the ones with the strongest links to leading models, because these models drive usage, subscriptions, and loyalty. So here's how it stacks up today. Microsoft Azure is the frontrunner. Thanks to its exclusive partnership with OpenAI, it's enjoying both demand and dominance. Google Cloud is the sleeper, quickly catching up through Gemini and its startup ecosystem. The potential is huge. AWS is still a technical leader in legacy cloud, but until it solidifies AI's future, perhaps with a stronger proprietary model, it remains at risk of stagnation. Oracle is the dark horse. If it proves able to turn massive AI contracts into long-term revenue, it could upend the entire market structure. The three-horse race narrative is outdated. We're entering a new phase. 3 giant sand, 1 dark horse. What do you think? Is Microsoft's grip on OpenAI to dominator? Is AWS just asleep at the wheel? Let us know in the comments. We read every one. If this gave you a clearer view of the future, don't just like it, follow Epoch Report and turn on the bell. Timing matters, especially in tech. And the best part, just 10 minutes a day, you'll always stay one step ahead of where the world is heading. See you in the next one.